Hello and welcome! So today we are doing candle wax reading and we are kind of focusing in more of a spell direction. So we will be casting a spell and then reading the wax. So it's a little bit different than a simple reading because we do have a spell first. So we will do that. And you guys are going to take part in the spell. So I hope everyone who's booked on is going to be present. You have to be present for the stream because you are included in it. You are part of the spell. So if you're booked on and you're not present, the space will go to someone else. There'll always be other chances. We're going to do this pretty regularly, maybe like once a month or something like that. So we'll see who's in, who was actually booked on. And if there are any spaces, if you're not booked on, you might get a space. There's only five spaces on this stream, and it's simply just because of the time that it takes. So one candle wax reading I did a couple of months ago, I was here for 6 hours, on stream for 6 hours. So we're not going to do that. We are going to manage our time, shall we say. So let me see who's in. Kaylee, Pooja, Kieran, John, Marianne, Jasmine, Dupree, Kidda, wonderful. Okay, amazing. Sadia as well, hello and welcome. So let's see, shall we? I'm forgetting already who's on the list. So we have Pooja, Jasmine, Jan, Dupree and Kidda. So unfortunately for everyone else, but very fortunately for me, I'm always happy when everyone who's booked on attends. That's amazing. Because it's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult to get everybody all together. So wonderful. So guys, if you are the 5 people who are on the stream, Pooja, Jasmine, Jan, Dupree and Kidda, please make sure you are available to attend the stream, because you will be needed throughout the stream. If you're not available, if you do have to leave and go somewhere, just let me know. We'll give your space to somebody else and you can be on the next one. So there's always going to be opportunities, guys. Always going to be opportunities. We will do another one soon. Yeah, so guys, so we have a good, valid message here from Kieran that says, yes, Venus, I want to ask how to book earlier when YouTube is giving notification just before the live is about to start. So guys, if you want to book onto streams that need booking, not like Crystal Ball, things that need booking, you have to stay updated with the community tab. So if you go onto my YouTube page, there'll be a community tab. I post everything there. If there's a stream that you have to book onto, I post multiple times about it on Facebook and on the community post. So you either should follow me on Facebook or you should follow me on the community posts here on YouTube, and you will be notified before the stream. I always notify people before the stream, so please make sure you're following that. That is the best way. And yeah, Jan, thank you there for also clarifying that. So let's see. So that's how to book ahead. And if you see a stream scheduled, because this stream has been on the homepage for a while as well, so if you look at the homepage and there's a stream, just message me. You can just message me, that's fine. A lot of people have messaged me to ask to be on this. And like I said to everybody, if someone who's booked on doesn't make it, you will get a place. There'll be an opportunity for you. But there will be other ones. So there's a lot of interest in candle wax reading. So any stream where there's a lot of interest, I do repeat it, it will be held again, don't worry. Is the music too loud? Can you let me know that? It sounds a bit loud to me, but the mic is here, so I don't know what it sounds like to you guys. So just let me know that. And guys as well, yeah, YouTube doesn't have a message option, but you can comment on the community tab posts, and in every single description of every single video is my email, my Facebook and my Discord. So there are 3 ways to contact me outside of YouTube. in the description of every single video. So there's always a way to contact me, even if you have to do email. And yeah, so I'm really well, guys, for asking if I'm well. I really hope you guys are well. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that you can find the community tab, or you have Facebook or anything like that. I really hope that, yeah, that's okay for everybody. So, okay, so that's cleared up. Please make sure you're following, and you're always welcome to message me. I always say, you're so welcome to message me, don't worry about that. So, yeah, so this stream's going to be a little bit different because it is a spell. Yeah, I'm going to turn it down a bit. It's a bit loud for me. I don't know about you guys. Let's see. Maybe that. Ooh, oh no, I've opened Firefox. What am I doing? Right, okay. Okay, so I think that's sorted. Okay, so let me know. So do we still have present Pooja, Jasmine, Jan, Dupree and Kidda? If you're all present and available to stay on the stream, please comment in the stream now. Please comment and we will begin. Okay, so I do believe that most of us are doing love readings. So if you can comment and just let me know, love readings, love spells, if you can comment and just let me know that is what you want to do, the theme of your reading, just remind me of the theme of your reading. Sometimes people change their minds, sometimes I forget what you guys have said, so do remind me of the theme of your spell so we can begin this. So we'll be beginning with Kidda, hello, Bogos, hello. Okay, wonderful, Dupree can stay, Pooja can stay, Jasmine can stay, and Jan can stay. Kidda, we'll give a moment because Kidda wasn't earlier, so we'll give a moment for Kidda, and if Kidda is not in, let's give her just over 5 minutes. We'll get the other ones ready. We'll save the plate for her, and if she doesn't come, whoever is still present and comments first, we'll get on the stream. So yeah, I'm sorry, that's a little bit like competitive in a way. There will always be other ones though. If you don't get one today, there will always be other ones. So the plates are going to be the same. So you've probably seen this plate before if you've attended a candle wax, but if you haven't, I will explain. So in a candle wax reading, there are different things that we read on the plate. So this one's already been, it's like here's one I made earlier. This one's already been done. As you can see, the plate is sectioned into four sections. We have the front section, which has the circle. So put the circle on the front. This is the physical and tangible. At the top here, this section, this is the subconscious, spiritual, and kind of, yeah, subconscious, like hidden maybe kind of things, spiritual things. The left here is the past, and right. I don't know if it's right or left to you. But this is the past and this is the future, okay? So that's how we section the plate up. That's why it's sectioned. So just to explain that. And we always mark the front just in case. Just in case when you're doing it, you move it around. You want to remember where your front is. So just that's a good tip. And so we have a few already done with the markings on. We have 2 that we need to mark. So we'll just mark the slightly bigger plates. So we will just mark those now. So you do have a Posca pen at hand, or you can use a Sharpie or whatever you like, and they do come off. Sometimes you have to scrape them a little bit, but they do come off. So you just want to section 4 sections, and then simply choose the front, whichever one you want. There. So that one's done. And of course, one more. We have 5 spaces. It's a bit wet. Let me just... I'm standing all over my cape here. So let's just make sure that's dry. Okay, so there we are, and we have the front there. Oh yeah, that's still a little bit wet. We'll leave that one for last so it dries off a little bit. But that's okay, it's not really a problem. Just don't want our markings to wipe off, basically. See how they've gone? Clearly they did a bad job of drying that, but that's okay. So, like I said, we are going to do a spell. It's not just going to be reading. So, we're in a waning crescent moon at the moment, which is very, very positive for goals, setting goals and intentions. But a lot of you guys want love readings, so we're really focusing on our heart chakra energy. Of course, we have our roses, but our sacral chakra energy, which is the intimate energy, the intimate connection. It's that love that heart chakra love can be friends, family. Sacral's very intimate, you know. So to go in the theme of sacral energy, sacral holds the intimacy, which is our focus in a lot of these spells. Part of our focus. But sacral also holds the creativity. So I decided that the spell today, we're going to do sigils. So as you know, in my spells, like our money spells, we do often use sigils. We've used sigils many, many times, but they're usually sigils that I have channeled. So I usually channel the sigil. So we're going to do a sigil in a different way. This is a different way that you can make a sigil. So what I want all of you guys to do, this is why I need you guys to be present for the stream. So focus on career is fine, absolutely fine. We have crystals, we don't just have roses, so you can have any theme that you want. I'll show those pretty miniature crystals there. So, Miss Venus, hello and welcome! It's lovely to see you. So, we'll set up the first spell, we'll check if Kid is in after that, and if she isn't, we will hold someone else in place. If we get to Kid's spell and she does come in, we will honour her. But she's hardly ever on stream and she is a member. But if she doesn't pop in, we will give that plate to someone else. So guys, if you want to hang around, you're very welcome. And you can join in the sigil. So even if you don't have the spell here with me today, you can join in making the sigil, okay? So it's everyone can do this. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a sigil in the probably more common way. I would say this is a more common way. I channel my sigils, but this is a more common way. I don't have a pen and paper. So, but I will need you guys to have maybe a pen and paper. Maybe you want to, if you have anything on your phone, like a drawer, you can draw or anything like that. Because I do want you guys to create a sigil. So, sorry for the inconvenience if you have to go and grab a pen or something. Or maybe you can do it on your phone, that's fine. So what I want you to do is I want you to think of your affirmation, but I want it to be as precise and short as possible. So your manifestation could be, let's see, so we have Jan and we know this is love, so it could be Caden back or get Caden back, you know, something very short, like 2 words, 3 words, something like that. So if you're happy and kind of, if you're happy and it's not too personal, put your affirmation in the chat now. So you're condensing your manifestation to make it really, really short. So 3 words, 4 if you want, but you know, as short as you can get it. So if you can, please put your manifestation in the chat when you think of it. Yeah, I should have got some paper so I could do like kind of an example of this. A lot of you guys will know this and you've probably done this before. Let me just see if I have any paper here. You can do somewhere. I'm a little bit unprepared. Do you know what, I will rip the candle box and I will just use that. So sorry about that. Here we are, the top of the candle box. So we have here, so Pooja says true love manifests in my life. Jan says reconciliation with Caden. Jasmine says physical relationship with Phil. So we're just waiting on Dupree and possibly Kidda if she's here. But if anyone else does want to join this part, you're very welcome. Just because you're not having a spell candle at the moment doesn't mean you can't join the sigil, okay? So I'll take the shortest one. So let's see. So you say reconciliation with Caden. maybe I would change it to like reunite, if that's a shorter word. Really want to get it pretty short, but let's honor what Jan. How can I forget Jan's name? That's crazy. Okay, let's go with Jan's one just because it's quite short. So recon, I can't spell, so that doesn't help. Yeah, it's kind of like it's a I don't know what it is. It's very very thin material, and my nan bought it for me, so yeah, I wear this often. I know I called it a cape, but I'm trying to be in my mystical energies right now, so it's a cape at the moment. So I'm just trying to spell reconciliation whilst I'm also talking, which is not great. So reconciliation with Caden. I should have written this a bit better, but so there we are. So this is the example, but you do this with your own sigil. I'm just using Jan's as an example. So you have reconciliation with Caden. So the first thing we're going to do is cross out every single vowel. So we don't want any vowels in this. So if you look, she has left an R, an N, a C, an L, a T, an N, a W, a T, a H, a K, a D, and an N. So now we want to cross out any letters that repeat. So in this sentence, we have two N's, so we don't need two N's. We get rid of that N. Oh, we have three N's, so we don't need that. We have two T's, so we don't need that T. So we have left, I think, an R. Oh, we have two C's as well. An R, a C, an N. A W. A T, a H, a K, and a D. Okay, so these are the letters that Jan has left in her when she crossed out all the vowels and all the repeating letters. So now what she needs to do is make a symbol out of these letters. So now you understand why we need quite short manifestations to kind of condense it. So she needs to make a symbol out of these letters. They can be uppercase, they can be lowercase, they can be conjoined, they can be apart, anything like that. So I'll just do like an example with this one. I don't have a lot of space, so it might, let me get more of my cardboard. Let me destroy more of this box. So the letters that she has. So maybe we would begin with, I don't know. I like a W. So let me say I'm going to do like a pointy W. So Jan, yours could be completely different, but I'm just using you as an example here. So we have a W here. And we could also say that we have the N if you wanted to conjoin them and have the W and the N there together. So we don't need those. So we need an R, a C, a T, a H, a K, and a D. So maybe we put the H here. So the H is, you can do uppercase or lowercase, of course. And you can see what I'm doing. So we have the H there. I want the K. I want the K like that, okay? I want the D, maybe here. I want the R. Where should I put my R? Let's see. I'll put it here. You can put your letters backwards. Maybe you want your letters backwards. So there we are. There's our R. And then we just need our C, I believe. You could say the C is conjoined into the D, you know? So this could be, this is very, very messy, and I'm sure Jan will make a prettier symbol, but this is just an example. Just an example of how you can do it. So sorry, Jan, to kind of mess up, but that could be Jan's sigil. So that's what, you could put it any way you want. Maybe think it looks better that way. I don't like this one. I wouldn't keep this because it's a bit ugly, but it's just my example. So I hope you understand. And so you guys all take your moment and make your sigils. And I would really appreciate if all of you guys who do have a way to connect with me, to communicate with me, to send them over. I would really love that, because what I like in these spells is we're working together. So this is our altar space, and it's all cleansed. We have my angels, my guides, and everything like that. So you don't have to worry about all that, but you do have to join in some way. I always feel like even if I'm casting a spell for someone, their energy needs to be in it. So I always give them maybe a meditation to do, or maybe just tell them to be optimistic and positive, give trust in the work. So there's always some level of their energy connecting with me in the spell. So that's why I think it's really nice to do this. To ask ask you to join in. So send me the sigils once you've done them. Take your time. I'll set up the candles in a moment. Jan says, while trying to find paper, I accidentally found money I've forgotten I stored. Amazing. That's so great. Yeah, so we're manifesting. We're manifesting money as well as a relationship. I would definitely see that as a positive sign. So what we're going to do now, so I'm going to begin actually doing the candles now. So as you guys know, I do tend to, we have the green screen, so try not to use green candles. I usually do 3 candles, as you probably know. I'm not too concerned about the colour of the candles at the moment. I don't know, it's been burned. I do have to kind of focus more on what will show on the green screen, unfortunately, here. But you can take anything, so white could be the guides, asking the guides for help, black can be protection, orange can be that intimate sacral energy we spoke about. So you can kind of put any meaning into the colours as long as it is represented by the colours, if that makes sense. So I hope that does make sense. But any colour can resonate with any spell. But yeah, it's up to you how you kind of use them. If you are doing your own spell, you can ask me for advice on things like that. But these are the colours I'm choosing for Jan. So I'm going to do Jan first, because I used Jan as the example. So, oh, Miss Venus, thank you so much. So Miss Venus says, please like the video. I completely forgot to even say that. So I really appreciate that. Please do like it if you are in. So today, we're going to be tying, so if it's a love spell, I'm going to be tying it with the red ribbon. If it's a money or spiritual or anything, we're going to tie it with the, or twine or whatever you might call it. So let me find the end of this. Let me find the end of this mess of red ribbon. And we will do Jan's candles. So usually, when I'm doing a reading of this size, I do usually use 3 candles. I'm very, I resonate a lot with like multiples of 3. It's, you know, it's very solfeggio in the oh, this is a bit small. In the solfeggio frequency, they're all multiples of 3, all of the numbers, and I really resonate with that. But if you go away and do your own spell, be intuitively guided to what you feel, and try to cut your ribbon at the correct length. It might help. So. We also, I forgot to, I anoint the candles after the ribbon for this stream. So, yeah, we do have a members crystal ball later. Jan, thank you. I think Jan sent me a photo of her sigil. So we do have a members crystal ball after, so we'll see how long this takes. Hopefully, we don't have to delay the crystal ball, but it'll still go ahead, even if it needs to be delayed. So there we are. There's Jan's candles. Now, if you're going to use bigger candles or tea lights or like a really huge candle for your own spell, carve your sigil into it. That's a really great thing to do. We have lots of tiny, thin candles here, so we're not going to do that today, but that will be something we'll do in the future. So maybe I will keep hold of your sigils, and we might do something like that when we mix it up a bit and we use different candles and things like that. So I'm now going to anoint the candles. It's a nice blend. It's kind of like more protection. So of course I wanted something that will go for everyone, no matter what your theme was. So it's more of a protection kind of anointment than love specifically. But we do have a very kind of, I suppose, very generic spell element, which is the rose for love. But when we use things that are very generic and very well known, we hold the power of that egregore, that everybody believes that this represents love. It's like in the collective. So even though it seems very basic, it holds a lot of power, if that makes sense, because everybody believes that this is love, a symbol of love. So just in case you are new and you haven't been on a candle wax reading before, we take 4 spell elements and we put one very close to the candles in each section. You know how the plate was split into four sections? We put our spell element, which for a love spell is the rose, in one in every quarter, but very close to the candles. You want them very close to the candles. That's how we do it. And we'll use crystals in the other spells. Thank you, Miss Venus. Yeah, I'm going to try not to feel rushed. Samina, hello and welcome. The stream is full today, but there will be other opportunities. Miss Venus, I really appreciate you. Yeah, I'm going to really try not. I'm not going to rush, but I'm going to try to manage the time a little bit if I can. So. Okay, so that's Jan's one. So let's get going with it because you know that's what we're here for. So we have our beautiful. I'm obsessed with butterflies at the moment. So do have my two favorite totem animals, butterfly and cuttlefish. So yeah, just mentioning that for no particular reason. But these are all our matches. So Jan's one is going. Oh, don't worry, Jan. I'll pick that up. I'll fix that in a moment. Yeah, it really should set the spell where it's going to be, so I apologise to Jan for that. So what we're going to do, actually we do have our black salt as well, so I do a lot of protection, and like I say, do have my guides with me and everything like that, but I know some people do worry because you're doing something in your own space, I'm here, you might not feel my guides or feel the protection, so I do want to try to add a bit of extra protection, so everyone's going to have some black salts as well on the spell. I lost my match. No, there it is. Okay, so we're going to like Jan's to get this party started, and there should be no draft in the room where you do it. So I have like both doors closed. There's no draft in here. It's pretty good. This is the room I usually do the spells in, so you probably know. But yeah, you want the wax to fall where it wants to fall naturally. You don't want like a draft or anything like that. And if I do have to walk past, I'll be very gentle with my flowing cape. We will use the bell in a moment when we do our meditation, but let's leave that for now. I've lost the cork. Right, okay. So there's Jan. So we do have one set up, which is great. So we'll move on to... Oh, I'll check Jan's. And we'll check all of your sigils as well. So there we are. Amazing. It's very, very simple as well. So it's nice that you have fit all of the letters into a very simple sigil. That's really the aim. That is the aim. So I love that. So thank you so much, Jan, for sending that. I will be focusing on that in the meditation part of the spell. So, butterflies for Psyche? Yes! Yes. And I went to a gallery, a museum kind of thing lately, and I saw a sculpture of Psyche. I think I posted it in my article. Very, very beautiful. So, next, we'll move on to Jasmine. We can do, let's do a blue plate for Jasmine. So yeah, I definitely, Miss Venus, I need to do more of my calm, relaxing voice, maybe some more meditations. I know it's liked, and I appreciate that. Yeah, so you don't have to be autistic to do the sigil. It can look any way. It's more about the manifestation, the affirmation is in there. It does not matter what, I mean, look at my one. It doesn't matter what it looks like. I don't like that one. I don't think it's very artistic or nice any way around you try to put it, but it doesn't matter. That would be perfect. We could use that. That's fine. So Jasmine, let's see. Physical relationship with Phil. Okay, yeah, so we are on a love theme here. I'm really trying not to use green candles. So guys, if you end up with a green candle, I apologise. I need to replenish my candle stock. So someone might end up with a green candle. And that's fine. Green's great for love, and some people do use it for money. I'm only saying that because of the green screen. They're very, very invisible. Even the yellow. Oh no, the yellow's okay. The green's invisible. So yeah, so do a love kind of theme for Jasmine. And put some positive energy into your sigil, some faith into your sigil. We will be focusing on them in the meditation, so don't worry if you just kind of want to chill and chat in the chat for now, that's fine. But yeah, I would love to see the sigils when they're ready. Oh, I really appreciate that. Okay. So jasmines, perfect. Just as long as they stand, perfect. Okay. So we will anoint jasmines. So it's good to sometimes use herbs and oils that are very just general, like they're good for manifestation, not for any particular. You know, like cinnamon's very good for money, and roses are very good for love. But we have things that, like rosemary, for example, that's a little bit more general. You know. Yeah, hard to try chakra for green. It's just the green screen that kind of gets me, but it's okay. I just would like, I'd like it to be a. I need a better camera so things are more clear anyway. But trying to make things a bit visible on the green screen is. Oh, sorry, Jasmine. We need hot roses and we also need our black souls. Getting ahead of myself. So a rose in every section of the plate, very close to the candle. And then a bit of black salt. And you can look up herbs. I might even do like an article on my website about just different herbs and what they're good for, just as like a little reference point if anybody does want to go away and do their own spells. It's always nice to have. In the kitchen we have like a kitchen witchery like a plaque thing, and it has all the different herbs that you can use in like cooking and what they're good for. So that's really nice. So I might do an article that's kind of similar to that. Oh, I should have moved it. I should have moved it to where I wanted it first. Sorry, Jasmine, if it falls over. So put Jasmine's there. Perfect. And so now we're going to move on to... Yeah, send me the sigil any way you can. Facebook, Discord, email. I would like to connect with it. I won't share it on screen or anything like that. So who's next? Sorry, I'm guessing Pooja. Do we still have Pooja? True love manifests in my life. So we have another loved one. So we'll do Pooja, then we'll do Dupree, and then we'll see who's left. So this can be Pooja's one. Let's do. I will do a yellow. It seems like the yellow is not too bad. So we'll do a yellow. And blue's always good. So sometimes I feel drawn to use blue when I know that the connection's a bit lacking in communication. You know, someone's maybe they're blocked, or maybe their communication's lessened. Maybe they're wanting this person to reach out. Blue is always a good one. Throat chakra. You know. Or getting the communication back to how it was. Maybe it's gone very friendly and you want it to go back to being like loving, you know? Something like that. Or if there's been an argument even. So I'm not saying that that's happened to Pooja. I'm just explaining the different uses as I go. And so yellow is like self-love and self-confidence as well. It's always nice to put a bit of self-love in your... Did I anoint Jasmine's? Oh, I really think I've messed up here. If I did, then I'm just redoing it, but I feel like maybe I didn't. Right, here we are. Wonderful. Okay. There's a reason for everything. If you forget to do something or you do something in a different order, there's a reason for that. It's higher guided. So now we want roses for Dupree. Sorry, Pooja. I apologise. So Pooja's is going to go here, and then of course we'll put the two more at the front here. When we do those, I'll have to move the bell. So. My days. So roses. really want the candles to be very central as well. So Pooja! There we are, Pooja, this is your one. Yeah, maybe I just needed more. I just felt like it wasn't anointed, I don't know why. It's always good to have extra. And there's Pooja's there. So let's kind of make space here for Dupree. So Dupree, you can have a white plate because it's already marked off. And there we are. Oh, no black salt on Pooja's. There we are. Thank you. Thank you for sending the sigils. And guys, even if you aren't on today's spell, if you still try to make a sigil, I would still love to see it. So you're very welcome to still send me a sigil, even if you're not on today's stream. That would be amazing. Maybe we could keep it for the next stream when you're on the stream. So, yeah, don't worry about that. So we have Dupree, and we are focusing on Korea, I believe. But let me just double check. Success and gaining a new job and new career. Okay, so success. Okay. So I want a black candle for this one. I do want protection around it. I think I'm going to go for yellow, blue, and black. Yeah, they're good ones for this one. And we want twine. I would go for so red is a really amazing colour for manifesting money and things like that. But I tend to use red ribbon specifically for love spells, so I'm not going to use red for Dupree, but I'm going to use brown. Now brown is a very earthly colour, it's very earthly, and grounding energies, grounding colours are great for like money spells, because our money energy, our root chakra kind of energy, it used to be all about, you know, like finding shelter, hunting, making sure we kind of survived. That's how it used to be in kind of primal times. And then as we kind of progressed into this civilized society, our root chakra and our money kind of goals kind of overtake that. So we're not hunting and gathering anymore, but we're working, we're making money. So things that represent earth and kind of that primal, those more primal kind of, how things changed, how things used to be. It's really positive to use that kind of symbolism as well. So I do like the brown for this. Very earthly, very grounding, because grounding is really connecting with the physical a lot of the time, you know, we're in our lower chakras. When we're kind of meditating, we're going into those third eye, spiritual kind of chakras. But when we're manifesting money, we do kind of want to be very grounded, very in the physical. You know, we want a job in the physical realm. We don't want to be too away with the fairies, basically. So, even though that's nice, it's counterintuitive to our monetary kind of focus, of, you know, that kind of focus. So, so we're going to have crystals for this one. So we're manifesting money. We don't want roses, we want crystals. So again, a big bag of mini crystals. Going to choose, we'll see what we have here. Oh, so we have a kind of a jasper kind of one. So yeah, I do like to use like the reds, the root chakras, like I have just kind of explained why. With that, I'm going to put the red at the front there. And I think we're going to have some, we'll have a quartz. Quartz is great for just simply amplifying anything. So anything that you put in, the quartz is very neutral, but it amplifies whatever the purpose is there. So then we will have I think we'll do a tiger's eye, and tiger's eye there at the back, and a, oh no, oh there's another jasper, I choose that instead. More drawn to that, so let's go to that with a jasper there, and then I want another quartz. So we've got 2 jaspers and 2 quartz. That's what we're going to go for this one, because we do have to work intuitively as well. That looks very nice. I like those crystals a lot. So there we are. I'm still going to use black salt for the money spell because we still want that protection there. So there we are. A little bit of black salt for Dupree. And we'll like Dupree's. And I know I've anointed that. I remember anointing that, so that's fine. If you want to focus on your flame, you're very welcome. If I need to move your plate a little bit, if you can't see very well, let me know. I will try to move it to be a bit more. If I move Dupree's over a little bit, Jan can see hers. So do we have Kidda? So our last call for Kidda. I'm going to put, let's see, because I'm drawn to a butterfly again. So I'm going to put a butterfly in the chat. Whoever comments first after this butterfly can have Kidda's place. But let me know that that's why you're commenting. So I want the place. So we'll see. Excuse me for sniffling as well. Yeah, your sigil's perfect. Harry Potter vibes. Yeah, it's cloaked. Kieran. Okay, yeah, Kieran. Thank you for staying with us and your patience. So you're very welcome. So this is your plate. I don't know what has happened here. It was a bit wet, but that's fine. So let's try and fit this on then. Can we still see Jan's? I don't want to be in the way of Jan's flame. That's the only problem. Oh, but I still need my phone. I still need to see the chat. So we'll do our best here. Oh, there we go. That should probably work. So Kieran, did you do a sigil? Did you do a sigil with us? Please do send that if you did your sigil. And so we have another what would you call it? Love theme. So we're going to have our yellow, our black, and our white candles here, and our red ribbon. We'll anoint that, and this is for Kieran. I really appreciate you staying on the stream and having patience as well. I really appreciate that. It's a bit of a shame about Kidda because she's barely ever on stream, but it's definitely, I definitely appreciate the patience that you have there. So there's Kieran. Just get the oil off my hands. Oh, some of the wax is beginning to form. So you have Jan's there. So we've got Jan, Jasmine, Pooja, Dupree, and Kieran here. So we're just going to put the roses on Kieran's. One in each section of the plate. We'll go back over the sections of the plate when we do the reading. Of course, some black salt for Kieran's as well. We're all having our little sprinkle of protection. There we are. And one more candle to light, or 3 more candles to light, I should say. Okay, so I'm going to take a moment to have a focus on the sigils that you've sent. If you haven't sent a sigil yet, please do send one. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look great. If you, if you saw my pull my socks up, physically and metaphorically. So yeah, if you saw the sigil I made, the example, very rubbish. You know, it doesn't have to be artistic. Don't worry about that. But yeah, please do send it. I would greatly appreciate. I would greatly appreciate it. So I'm just going to have a little focus. So I'm going to be quiet for a moment. I'm going to focus on the sigils, just to check if you've done the sigils. So you're very welcome to focus on your flame. You're very welcome to focus on your affirmations and things like that. We will be doing a meditation in a moment, but you're very welcome to, you know, if you do your deep breaths or if you have any kind of practice that you do, you're very welcome to do that now if you want, whilst I just check the sigils and connect with your sigils, okay? So you can focus on the flame, you can focus on the sigil, whatever you feel drawn to, okay? So we're working more intuitively. We're not going kind of by a strict process. We're going with how we feel. So see how you feel. Okay, so you have Jasmine's one here. Wonderful, amazing. Oh, I like that. It's quite curly. Yeah, I like that kind of style. So nice curly sigil there. So we have Jasmine and Jan. So Pooja, Dupree, and not Kira, sorry, Kieran. Have you guys done a sigil? Please, please send me the sigil when you're done. Or if the sigil's personal to you, if you feel like it's personal to you, don't send it, of course. It's entirely up to you. Only do what you're comfortable with. So I'll just wait for a moment to see if Pooja, Kieran, and Dupree are going to send me a sigil or not. I think Dupree said email. Let me just double check my emails. Oh yeah, sorry, you have sent it. Apologies. Yeah, that's fine. The letters don't have to connect. You can make them into like a little pattern kind of thing like you have there. That's perfect. That's a quite unique one, and that's perfect. So yeah, that's great. I really like it. I really like that one. It's lovely. So yeah, what I really like is that they're all very different as well. So that's amazing. And Kieran. Okay. So I think we have, it's just Pooja. Oh, Kieran, I like your one. Yes. It's within a heart. So that's very nice. I really like that. Guys, you've done really great. Really amazing. Got these sigils. I love them. So that's perfect. So this is why I love like kind of a bit being a bit interactive, joining in. You know, we're both casting, we're both putting our energy in, and things like that. And that's what I like about these kind of streams. Pooja, do we have a sigil? We're just waiting on Pooja now. So I'll give Pooja like a minute or two. Maybe she's behind on the stream. We'll just give her a moment to see if she sends that through. Looks like Jan's candle's kind of getting there anyway. So that's perfect. So we'll do a meditation. We'll begin a meditation now. I will be awaiting on Pooja's sigil. If she sends it, I'll focus on it. I will be flicking through and focusing on different sigils, so don't worry about me being on my phone. I will be looking at the sigils, focusing on your sigils. So, okay. So now I'm going to go into my nice, calm, meditative voice. So I hope that you can hear me okay. I know this is the calming voice that Miss Venus likes. So, okay. So we're going to begin the meditation. We have our sigil, we have our flame. I will be blowing the flame out in due time, at the right time. I'll be divinely guided to do that. But for now, we're going to focus very positively. So we have a lot of protection. We're not really doing like a clearing anything out. Okay, so that's kind of the difference with this spell. It's very optimistic. It's very positive. It's very forward focused. So I would like you to maybe focus on your sigil. Maybe you want to draw it out a few more times. Maybe focus on your flame. Maybe focus on your breath. Maybe you're someone who has visions, you know? And yeah, maybe you get into a bit of a trance. I like that. So I'm going to be quiet in a moment, and we will go into a meditative state. So if there is anything that helps you to get into that state, maybe do your breaths, you know, focusing on your breath. Maybe you want to focus on your heart chakra, your sacral chakra, because remember, we're not necessarily trying to have a strong meditative experience. We're trying to connect to our spell energy. So we want to focus on our sacral chakra, we want to focus on our heart chakra, and if you are Dupree, so I do apologise, I'm talking very much in the love theme here, but if you are Dupree, you want to focus more on your root chakra, okay? So you want to be very root chakra based. If you do have doubts, fears, or feel low self-esteem, and this can be for any of you, if you feel like you're not worthy of your goals, of your desires, whether it is Dupree with the work path, or whether it is one of you guys with the love path, you can focus also on your solar plexus, because your solar plexus is going to bring up your confidence, bring up your belief that you can do this, because a huge part of spell work and manifesting is our belief and our faith that it can work, and that we can do it, we can achieve these things. If we don't believe that we can achieve what we're trying to achieve, there's no point in doing the spells. So our solar plexus chakra is very important, focusing on that area, maybe focusing on the colour yellow, you know? Dupree, maybe you're worried about interviews, maybe you're worried about connecting with new people in the workplace or in the financial path. You can focus on your throat chakra. So it's just about having purpose on where we're focusing, you know? I want to strengthen my love connection, so I'm really focusing on my heart chakra here. I want to strengthen an intimate connection with my partner, so I'm really focusing on my sacral energy. You can't see, but really focusing on the sacral energy here. Of course, you can focus on the root, your lower areas here, and maybe you can focus. So if you are focusing on your work path, Dupree. You can focus on that root chakra here. So you can imagine roots. So you can picture roots going down into the earth, really grounding you. So it really depends on your spell. So do you want to include everybody? The root chakra, you want to be really grounded. Picture roots going from the root chakra right into the earth, grounding you into that earth. Really, you can ask Mother Earth, you can say, you know, I'm here in the physical realm. I'm entitled or, you know, desiring of indulging in the physical pleasures of life. I want abundance, I want a positive financial path. I want my reason for being in the physical realm to manifest. And then of course the love connections, we say I want my connections to manifest. I know I'm here on a love path. I know I'm here with this open heart chakra. Can Mother Earth help me, you know? Help me to manifest these connections in my life. And yeah, we can connect with the earth, especially Dupree, if you know, with the physical path. But guys, as we mentioned earlier, you can also focus on the moon. So we're in a waning crescent, and it's very goal setting. This is a very goal setting moon phase. So you can focus on that. Maybe you prefer to flow with different celestial bodies, you know, working with the earth, working with the moon phases, whichever you wish to do. So we are going to take a moment now, maybe think about the things that I've said, think about the areas that I've suggested focus on, and kind of run away with that. Go intuitively into how you feel you should focus now. So we are going to take a moment. If I need to blow your candle out, I will. You can still focus on your sigil if your flame is gone, okay? always really like the smoke. Hello Kaylee, I'm well, yeah, I hope you're okay. So, what we're going to do, we're all coming out of the meditation a little bit now. If you do want to remain in meditation, you're very welcome to, of course. We do still have Kieran's candles burning, so you're very welcome to still focus on your flame, as well as, I'm forgetting the order. Jan, Jasmine, why have I forgotten that one? Persia? Yeah, sorry, Jan, Jasmine, Persia, Dupree, Kieran. Sorry. Clearly I'm drifting into a different dimension with that meditation, so yeah. Kieran, you're very welcome to continue focus, and I know Pooja isn't here, but I'll just let that burn down a little bit more. But before we go into reading this wax, did anybody have any experiences in their meditation that they wanted to bring up or mention? If you had any experiences in the meditation, it would be very interesting to know. I'm going to move some of my spell elements so that I can get closer to you guys when I read the wax. So bear with me. Space there. Okay. So Jan says, I just felt really positive and light. Was visualizing the sigil. Colour yellow and Caden. Okay, wonderful. Yeah. So I know I did speak a little bit through the meditation, but I do think it's good to get an idea of where we should be focusing, but always be intuitive, you know. If what I said made you think, oh, I should be focusing on the heart, but you were drawn to the throat, go with where you're drawn. That's what I always say. Go with your intuition very strongly. There. Done. So we're all just waiting on Kieran's one to burn down now. So we'll have a little look at the other ones. So guys, so Jan, Jasmine, Pooja, Dupree, are you guys still here? Just would just like to know what's going on, who is here. Jan, I have my hand placed on my horse as well, wonderful. Jasmine, I can always clearly see us holding hands standing at the altar on our wedding day. Somehow I can see the same vision anytime I focus on it. Okay, so that's really positive, that's really nice. Definitely a good message there. They're definitely the kind of things we want to be focusing on. Okay, so anything that's super positive, anything that's like really in alignment with what we want is perfect to focus on. So I'm happy with what you were drawn to do, like what Jan was drawn to do, and the visions that Jasmine had. That's perfect. How about Dupree or Kieran? Any visions, any guidance to focus anywhere, you know? Yeah, Kieran, your one's kind of slow burning, but the flame is huge, so it's very interesting. Dupree, I was visualizing the outcome of my goal affirmations and also visualizing the sigil in my mind. Kieran, my focus is going on flame, on and on. Amazing, wonderful. So it does sound like everyone managed to stay positive, because in a lot of the spells that I do, we begin with a clearing, and we do kind of focus on the negative when we do that. And I didn't want to do that today. I didn't want to give any focus to the negative. So the fact that you all had kind of good guidance and good visions is really, really positive to me. So what I'm going to do is begin with reading. So we'll keep an eye on Kieran's flame. If it gets really low and I'm kind of chatting on, you're very welcome to let me know. We'll turn the music down a little bit so we can talk a little bit. So let's see, I'll just... Oh, it's a bit low. About that. Okay. So I'm going to... I'll move the mic as well a little bit, because I'm going to be moving forward to chat with you here. So here I am. Let's see. So we have Jans to begin with. We are going to have salt falling everywhere, but that's okay, we're protected. So here we have Jan's plate, as you can see it. Pooja, thank you. Yeah, so here we are, just getting all the salt off Jan's plate. Here we are, we're interpreting wax more than flames at the moment. But you can interpret flames. You can interpret flames in different ways. You know, if you do candle gazing whilst you're doing your spell, you can really focus on the flame. The reason why I'm not really doing that is because, as you can see, my camera isn't great. You know, it's not great. How I can see the flame is a lot better, a lot clearer. You know, just a lot better than how you can see there. So I do aim, you know, as I progress on YouTube to get like better cameras and things, but do bear in mind I don't really make much money from YouTube, you know, so it's like maybe £80 a month, so you know, I'm not really affording like an amazing camera right now. Yeah, so we're looking more at the wax and things. I think the wax is just a bit easier to do, basically. Steamboats or train. Okay, yeah, so I need the chat, don't I? I'll have to... I want to show you it there. Okay, so I'll hold it up first, like, as close as I can. See if you can get any interpretations on it. I mean, even this, you know, I do need a better camera. I really do. So... you can kind of see the grooves and things in it though. And so I will remind you guys, so what we're actually looking at here, what we're trying to interpret, we have the, I'm trying to get a good, is that any good? So the one with the dot, the front, so this is all physical, this is what's tangible, what's physical, what is in grasp and in reach right now to Jan. We have spiritual, so things that might be in the subconscious, in the spiritual mind, connections in the spiritual realm. We have the past and we have the future. So this is why our plate is divided up. So if we look there, so you are very welcome to see like shapes, letters, you know, whatever you might see in there. We can interpret that as well. That's the beautiful thing. The beautiful thing about candle wax reading is you can interpret things like shapes and things like that as well, and it's not all only about the sections of the plate. But I do really interpret the sections of the plate. I find that like very, very interesting. So I'll just move a bit closer to you guys. So in the physical and tangible here, you can see so we want to look at the spell elements as well. So remember, we put a rose in every section. We put a rose in every section of this plate. But we don't have the rose in the future. Unfortunately, the rose in the future has fallen out. So the rose in the future falling out is a little bit of maybe a worry, maybe a little bit. You know, it's not great. It's not. We would like it to stay, but the rose in the past could suggest that there's someone from the past. It's from the past because it's staying there. But we also see this. So when we see these very clear, if you can see them, where the wax kind of branches out on its own, it makes these little kind of pads. I call them pads or chords. So I always interpret these ones as either chords or paths, depending on how I'm feeling. So it's intuitive. I'm reading intuitively. So this looks to me, I don't think this is necessarily a chord to someone in the past. I think what it's representing is the path is with someone in the past. So I do think this is representing a path. If you can see, it comes across to the past, which is telling us it's someone from the past, which, the spell was about Caden, so it makes sense that it would point to someone in the past. But the chord's also, it's pointing down. So when it's pointing down, it's almost like it's trying to get to the physical and tangible section, okay? So we are looking at the directions they're pointing. So it's almost like it kind of represents what we're trying to do. We are trying to get this past connection to physical and tangible. So that chord, that kind of wax pad, is it resonates a lot with what we're actually trying to do, in my opinion. Here we have reaching up very high to the spiritual section. It could be a bit interesting that it's in like T shape, so it's pointing both ways. It's pointing to the past and it's pointing to the future. So I would say that's very, very positive. It's because it's also affirming that this is a spiritual connection, okay? There's something subconscious and something spiritual going on, because there's energy in there. So when we have wax in the second section, I will sometimes be referring to that as energy. And the energy in this section is telling us that this is a spiritual connection. It is something from the past, but it's also moving into the future. That's kind of the positive thing about how this path split up like that. And most of the paths that the wax has laid out for us here do point to the future. So I think that's kind of a positive note, because although we have this big kind of mess, this big glump here in the past, the more straight, smooth, positive paths are going to the future, okay? They're a lot smoother, they're a lot straighter. We can clearly see a divide line though, I don't know if you can you see that? You can clearly see a divide line there, so we're clearly seeing that there's more than one path available to her. So there is more than one path available to Shanna in the future. This could be two different people, it could be two paths with Caden, but one is, let's say one's really positive and one's not so great, or one's in a different country, one's here. Could be two possible paths with him, but it could be representing a different person as well. The most positive thing to me is this T shape in the spiritual section. I really like that. But the physical and tangible not really having much energy coming down to it, that's a little bit negative to me, but it resonates. It kind of does resonate with where we're at the moment, how things feel with him. The rose thing there is positive. It's very encased. I can't pull it out. If you see, if you can turn the plate upside down, it doesn't come out. It's very ingrained, of course. So the rose being there, and sometimes in these readings as well, remember the rose burns. The rose burns a lot of the time. These are still very fresh roses. They haven't burned. That's a positive sign as well. So you have one in the tangible, one in the past, and one in the spiritual. So there's something tangible there, okay? So I'm not saying there's nothing tangible, but it's not a lot. It's very difficult. To me, this speaks a bit more about where you're at the moment, as opposed to maybe a future prediction. I would say maybe this is more the future prediction, of course, in the future section. Makes sense. But this kind of worries me, this big kind of glump here. It's very rough. It's like we have this bit, and all in the spiritual section is so smooth. The spiritual section is so smooth. The future section is so smooth. This past section, there's a bit of a kind of a mess here. So it could be that there's some emotions. Excuse me, moving back a little bit. So it could be that there's some emotions, there's some block, there's something from the past that isn't quite healed, worked through. Maybe you are working through it, but there is something there. So there's still something from the past to heal, but it could be that you're working through it. So it's not necessarily saying it's a blind spot, because it's in the past section, not in. If this was here, we'd be saying yes, it's in the subconscious, but it's not. So it could be something that you're aware of and you are working through, but it is kind of speaking to that there is an issue, that there's still something going on. But I think the spiritual section and the future section are the most positive parts here. We're seeing 2 paths at least, maybe 3 here. One is pointing up to the spiritual section, so I do believe that at least that one is with Caden. And of course, like I mentioned about this in the spiritual section, to me that's super positive. But I'll read what you guys are saying about that as well. Let's see. So we have so Jen says a train and a steamboat. So train, steamboats, things like that. If you're seeing signs of like vehicles, boats, things like that, it's really positive representation of the journey. But it's positive, but it's also saying you're still on the journey. You know, you're still on that bus or that train or that boat. You're not quite getting off yet. You're not quite at the stop. So it still is kind of about that journey kind of thing when we see that. Yeah, the melted candles are beautiful. When I have to peel them off, I kind of like don't want to. There's been some very beautiful ones I have not wanted to peel off. But I do take pictures of them if you guys want them. So send me a message off stream if you want a picture of your plate before I do scrape them, okay? Marianne says, looks like a train carrying love as a passenger towards its destination. Okay, so we're getting confirmation on this train thing. Jan says, thickest looks like it's in the tangible into the future. Kira says a mermaid. Yeah, so mermaid. That's quite a nice symbol as well. Could be some Mintarkan vibes going on there. The last kind of wax we got that he needs to release past connections was the block. I don't like the multiple paths. That is very concerning, especially because I haven't opened any doors with anyone. Yeah, like I said, it could be 2 possible paths with him. There could be one where you move to a certain place, or you know, because you're a long distance as well, so the 2 paths could be one's him moving to you, one's you moving to him. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean it with someone else. I definitely 100% feel the path that's leaning up to the spiritual section is Caden, but I'm a little bit open about the other paths, but yeah, very well could be Caden. So yeah, interesting what you guys see there. If we're seeing things like mermaids, angels, things like that, I feel like we're kind of getting protection from guides come through, which is really, really nice. I know there has been guides before come up in terms of supporting this connection, so that's very nice. Yeah, okay, so we'll move on to Kieran's one's going very, very slow. So yeah, if your candle's burning very, very slow, even when it's been anointed, it could simply represent that there's a lot of work to do. Don't forget, candles can be very cleansing. They can be very important, important to manifestation, of course. So if it's taking a long time to burn, even though it's anointed, it can be a sign that there's a lot of work being done. There's a lot of, maybe energy's unsettled, maybe things need aligning. There might be a lot kind of going on there. So let's move on to Jasmine, which is the next one. So Jasmine, I hope you are here. I just want to say, I know this salt's going to come off, but it's interesting because I blew it out, and this, you can see, sorry, I'm holding it down here and pointing. The ribbon didn't completely burn like they often do, and it kind of like landed over here in the future section. I think that was really, really interesting. I'm already seeing a heart shape in the spiritual section, which is really interesting and nice. But look at this wax. It's so confined to the middle, which is also a little bit interesting. So it is interesting because the middle does kind of represent you in the present moment, you know. So when the wax doesn't really move to the other sections, there can be messages of like being present in the moment. Being present in the moment might be an important message for your path at the moment. If you're thinking too much to the past or thinking too much to the future, there could really be a message here about staying present, making sure you stay present. But let's show this kind of up close. Okay. If I can hold it in a better way and get the bottom there. Okay. Sorry, the front. So remember, we have the physical and tangible at the bottom. We have the spiritual, subconscious at the top. I knocked the the ribbon off, didn't I? We have the past and we have the future. We can still see where the ribbon was. I do think that was me. I don't think that was, you know, the universe. So we can see where the ribbon was, so that's okay. We can still see it. But yeah, I'm seeing a heart shape literally with the rose in the spiritual. So to me, that heart shape with the rose in, if you can see it at the top, it's in the spiritual section. To me, that's rarely confirmation. You know, it's like, are you doubting this is your twin flame? Are you doubting this journey? You know, any kind of doubts about that spiritual connection at least. So it's not to say, you know, if you're rarely doubting the path and you don't want to be on it, that's fine. But it's rarely affirming the connection. Like, you're not wrong about the type of connection that you have, basically. I rarely see that there. So let's talk about the ribbon being in the future. I think that's really interesting because the ribbon, of course, the ribbon's supposed to represent the union, like holding you together, bringing you together. It's like positive chords, you know? We release negative chords, we want positive chords. So the positive chord going to the future, to me, that's really just symbolic and really nice, very beautiful. But there's not a lot going on in this. It's really telling me, like, be present in the moment. I rarely feel that message, and I know that's so generic, but we do often need to hear it because we get stuck in the past, we get stuck in the future. But I don't know if you guys see anything specific in this plate. I do think it's interesting how the wax has kind of stayed central. I mean, the majority of it is in the past. And I'm feeling kind of like, it's interesting because when there's not a lot of, there's no chords, there's no pads, there's not a lot of energy going on in any section, the messages begin to become a bit more intuitive. And I really feel like this past, this clump of the past, I don't feel like it's the past in your current life. I feel like it's talking about your past life connection. I really feel like the past life connection is coming through here, and this clump is saying that there's things that still need to be done. So I don't feel it's negative necessarily, but I feel like it's a lot. You know, there's like karma, like whether it's good or bad, there's things that need to kind of happen, events that need to happen, things that need to unfold, to kind of tie up loose ends from past life, basically, I would say. So I do really feel that. I don't know if you feel kind of similar. If we turn it this way, we do have like a U or a V maybe kind of symbol, so I don't know if that resonates with you in any way, a U or a V. And then we do have this little tiny kind of, it's almost like when I saw this wax, it was like it was trying to make a path to the tangible, and it was kind of stopped by the salt. So I thought that was interesting because the salt kind of stopped it in its path. So what that says to me is that there is a path that's physical and tangible. There is an opportunity, even though it's small, and it's protected. So the salt kind of stopped it. So it's almost like if a negative path is going to occur, you're going to be protected. That's going to be like, you know, you're not going to be taken down a negative path. Basically, I feel like a lot of protection from that message. It's like the wax easily could have gone over the salt or gone past the salt, but it didn't. It stopped dead on it, and I really feel like that is the message about protection. I really do feel that. So there is a tangible path, but it's being protected, or it could be it's being divinely guided, something like that. There is something tangible, but yeah, it might be a narrow opportunity. It might be something where, you know, it's going to align. You need to grasp it when it aligns because it's like maybe a one-off kind of opportunity, you know. So that's Jasmine's. But if we do know, so of course, the rose from the past is completely encased in all of that, which to me is so all of that, which to me is really more affirming about the past life kind of message that came up. But yeah, so the rose staying in the heart, in the spiritual twin flame, the rose also staying in the tangible. So again, even though there's not a lot of energy in the tangible, I still feel like it's positive. I still feel like there is something tangible. But you know, we're looking at it, it's kind of like, it's there, it's this clump. But it's also, I find the fact that the wax didn't spread very interesting. Because again, I know I said like be present in the moment, but it could also suggest that something's going to happen in your current chapter, you know? We don't have anything spreading out to the future, so all of the energy seems to be like in the here and now. So I feel positive about that, I feel hopeful about that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. of this one. So that was Jasmine. Let's see. They keep sending me my heart. Remember I said they sent me a heart in the flames yesterday? Yeah. Kieran says they see a couple kissing, so that's really positive. Dupree says they see a heart. Yes, I totally agree. Jasmine, I do understand the being present in the moment a lot. Marianne, deep love in the present relationship with an entwined couple. Yeah, entwined, absolutely. And you agree with past life. So yeah, so it does resonate, so that's great. So the next one we have is, isn't that Pooja's? So Pooja, are you here? So let's give a moment. We'll give a moment, Pooja, if you're here, we'll do yours. If not, we'll move on to Dupree. So yeah, 3 more readings left. This one's really, like, the flame, Kieran, has been really huge the whole time, but the wax, I'm not getting a lot of wax going on, so this one might be a bit interesting. Jasmine says I feel hopeful about things being done now. It's been a long time coming. To me, it's like, oh, there's not a lot of energy going on there, but at the same time, it's all in that present moment. It's like clumped in that. I know a lot of it's in the past, but I do feel like we've said already, that's confirmation of the past life. But everything else seems very close. That's really positive for time scale, you know? So yeah. Okay, so do we have Pooja? So Pooja or Dupree, please can you comment in the chat so I know you're here, and we'll go on to that reading. I might be behind in the chat. Someone might have already messaged. I might be behind. Dupree. Okay, wonderful. Yes. So move on to Dupree then, and Pooja, if you do pop in, we'll do yours. So Dupree. Here we are. So the spell elements that don't stick into the wax, that's fine. I usually tend to place it upside down and see what stays. So that's okay. The crystals didn't encase into, I mean, you'll have one there. Yeah, there's one, a quartz crystal. So you do have a quartz crystal that is encased in your wax, but your other crystals fell off. It's interesting. This is actually a very interesting plate. So let me hold it up close to you. And it's also kind of like moon shaped as well. We were talking about the moon before, so that's quite nice. But it's the interesting thing. So again, the physical and tangible at the bottom here with the dot. It's a bit bright, isn't it? The light's just so bright. Let's see. Where can I hold it? So the physical and tangible here at the bottom. We have the spiritual, the subconscious at the top. We have the past on this side. We have the future on this side. So it's a little bit disheartening in the sense that this is all manifesting our work path, and we're not seeing anything in the future. So it's a little bit kind of like, maybe the spell will release some blocks. Maybe the spell is telling us where it needs to work, because don't forget, we're not just reading here, we did do a spell. So the spell could be telling us that there's not a lot of opportunities, there's not a lot of things coming up in the future. Maybe that's what the spell needs to work on, okay? So if you do get something that's not totally positive, don't worry about it too much, because we all, we're working on it, we're manifesting, aren't we? So we see two very clear paths here. So, okay, so we have a lot of energy in the past, and also the quartz crystal is encased in this wax in the past. So we're seeing a lot of power, a lot of energy. Sometimes it suggests like there's a role you had in the past, like a work role you had in the past that you're going to go back to, or it could be something like you learned a lot of skills in the past and you need to bring them forward, you know. There's something from your past that's very important in terms of bringing forward. So it could be like transferable skills, it could be, like I said, a job that you used to have that maybe you should go back to. There's something in the past coming up. Yeah, there's a lot, so most of the energies in the past, which it's a little bit interesting for a work related to finance kind of reading that are, that all the energies in the past. To me, this one is speaking a lot more to what the spell needs to work on. So there must be a block kind of somewhere because we're not getting anything in the future. But we do have these two paths. So we have a path up here going to the spiritual. We have a path up here going to the tangible. So I'd say that's a really positive thing about this reading, is that you do have a path in the tangible, and it's far from the center. So that could mean that it's not the distant future because it would be here, but it could mean that it's not super soon. So it's not like this week, it's not next week, but it is tangible. It's there. So there's an opportunity, a path that is coming that's very tangible, and it's definitely in the near future. So I would say, like, 3 months is probably too long. It's probably going to be before a 3-month period that this tangible path is going to come, and we even have our twine kind of pointing to that. So we are really seeing this opportunity that's in this kind of close future, okay, like near future. This is our physical and tangible. So there's definitely something that is tangible to you, but there really is something to clear and sort out in the past. And when we look at the past section, it's very clumpy, it's very kind of, it's not smooth, it's not nice, it's kind of bumpy. You don't really get like a pretty shape from it or anything like that. So that is kind of telling us that it's not something completely, it might not be something completely positive. It might be a block, or it could be, like I said, if you do have skills from the past and you're trying to move on from them, not recognizing that they're really good for you, you need to bring them forward. Could be a block like that. So it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, there's something blocking you, there's like a curse. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It could be that you're just not realizing your worth. You're not realizing that you already have everything within you to move forward with. You could be kind of not realizing your true value and true potential. You might not realize the skills that you already have within you. You might not realize what you're really good at yet. And so it's all in the past. It's like looking back. Like, what did I do? What was I really good at? Taking note of my goals, what I did, what I achieved in the past, and really trying to push and bring that forward. Because if we did another reading, so spell energies, they tend to settle over a 2-month period. If you came back for a candle wax reading in 2 months, we want to see this energy shift. We want to see all the future paths. We want to see these paths moving right forward to the future, But don't forget there's something tangible. There is an opportunity there in the tangible. So it's not all bad. It's not bad. There's definitely something that is within reach to you that you can grasp, that's physical. But we're also seeing this path to the spiritual, so we do kind of need to talk about that. Are you ever wanting to be on a spiritual path in a work sense? Because if there is something spiritual you want to do for work, you might be able to achieve that. But it could be more about, so spiritual isn't like doing a spell to, like what we're doing now, doing a spell to try to help the finances. So this path could be saying keep doing that. It could be saying your spiritual focuses, your affirmations, manifestations, maybe connection with deities, or your own kind of religion or practice or spirituality is important to your work path. So it's kind of like saying, yeah, you have this tangible, these things that are tangible to you, you have this path that's available, but don't neglect your spiritual path. The spiritual path it wants to be there, okay? The spiritual path wants to be there and it will help. So keep manifesting, keep focusing spiritually on things, because it does look like, look at these paths, they're so balanced, they're pretty much the same, So it's really saying that you need to balance your spiritual life with your physical life. So balancing the third eye and the crown with the root chakra, making sure you're kind of in balance, making sure that even when you're maybe you're hustling, maybe you're really going for it, still keep that sense of spirituality, still do your prayers or your affirmations or whatever you do. Yeah, Kieran, yours is almost done. So just let you guys look at the smoke. I really like the smoke. So yeah, so overall I would say it is positive. You need to maybe think about what this past thing is. But yeah, what I always say when we do these readings, when we do this type of one, don't forget that it was a spell as well. So don't worry too much. But balancing your spiritual path with your work path, trying to recognize this opportunity when it comes, because this is definitely near future, okay? So there's something there. There's something there. Like I said, if we came back for another reading over time, we want to see this energy going into the future, but it's not all bad, and we do see something positive there for you. So any notes on that? Anything anyone else saw with that? Let's see. That's fine, Pooja. We can do yours next. Marianne says, looks like a seesaw, so the energy is unbalanced, but there's still option. Yes, yeah, that's exactly. Even though I didn't see the seesaw aspect of it, that's exactly what I was thinking. Yes. And an anchor. So Jan says an anchor. Yeah. So it could be really needing to anchor yourself into this opportunity, and then maybe that future path will come. So I think overall, I think it's positive, but I do think that in terms of the spell, we want to see it push forward. I would say that's the main thing. Yeah, when I'm saying there's something there for physical, I am saying an opportunity will come to you, yes. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it will come to you, you still might have to seek it out, you might be applying for or asking people, networking, but there will be a tangible opportunity in the near future, it seems. That's what the kind of reading is pointing to there. So let's look at Pooja, are you here? So Pooja and Kieran, who's here? Pooja, okay, wonderful. So we'll do Pooja now. Okay, so this looks quite pretty, but let's see. I think the rose is going to... Oh! That's really interesting. Oh, yeah, that one's fallen off. Okay, so this is Pooja's. I think this is quite a pretty one in terms of the colours. Just let me hold it up to you. Oh, that's quite in short as well. So don't forget, physical and tangible at the bottom, spiritual and subconscious at the top, the past on this side here, the future on this side here, okay? So what we're seeing here, I think this is pretty interesting. So this is the love reading, let's not forget. Physical and tangible, not seeing anything. Future, it's difficult. Actually, there's nothing in the future as well. But notice how that rose in the future, can you see it? It's staying on the plate perfectly on its own. It's not even encased in the wax. It's just staying on the plate. And I turned the plate upside down. So to me, even though there's no energy, the wax I call energy, even though there's no energy in that future path in terms of wax, it is so interesting how that rose is just kind of stuck there. It just kind of wants to be there. I think it has a tiny bit of wax on it from the ribbon. So I think that's really interesting. And I think that does speak to holding on to a connection. The possibility is still there, It's almost like there's no clear path. I'm not seeing a clear path. I'm not seeing a definite. But it's like a glimmer of hope, I would say. I would say that rose in the future is a glimmer of hope to what is possible. So that's quite good. In terms of a spell, that's quite good because we know there's something not great. We know the path's not perfect because we're doing a spell on it. So the rose kind of making sure it stays in the future there, I do see that as positive. To me, that, like I said, that's a glimmer of hope there. But yeah, a lot of energy in the spiritual, which I definitely expected. Again, this is a twin flame connection. All of the energy does go to the spiritual. If there's nothing physically manifesting with a twin flame, you will notice this, that all the wax goes into the spiritual section, the subconscious section. It's affirmation. So it's affirmation that this is a spiritual connection. It's affirmation that there's things that maybe need to be done, maybe, connections that need to be made, karmic things that need to happen, things like that. And again, we have a little cord to the past, if you can see, just coming down, it's going into the past section there. So again, this is kind of confirmation. It's It's N. It's someone from the past. It's someone that you know. It's, you know, there's some familiarity, some past connection there, and the rose. The rose just remains in the past, the spiritual, and the future, just not in the tangible right now. So I would say the most upsetting, maybe negative aspect of this is the tangible. There's pretty much nothing there, okay, in this section. We're not really getting anything there. So what we're seeing is a glimmer of hope in the future, but we're not seeing anything that's in our current chapter. So like in our 2 to 3 month kind of time frame, we're not really seeing anything. So of course it's a spell. So like I said with Dupree as well, if we came back in 2 months when the energy is settled, hopefully we will get more in the future. Hopefully we will get more in the tangible. But at the moment it's not really like that. But the past rose, the spiritual rose, and the future rose remaining is really positive to me. Like I said, and we'll keep saying, this rose is really a glimmer of hope to me. That's what I see. And we have a bit of our ribbon left over in the top. The ribbon is of course symbolic of keeping that connection, you know, positive cords to that person, keeping a kind of protection around that connection. So it's always quite a nice sign when the cord, which is the ribbon, doesn't completely burn. It's supposed to burn, it gets anointed, it's fine if it does burn, but when it doesn't, it's always nice and important to note that it hasn't, because it's affirmation of a connection, a cord, and it's in the spiritual section. So again, you are bound in some way spiritually. There is a really strong spiritual connection here, and it's really affirmed by the ribbon, the rose, and all of the energy being in that section. So to me, the main thing of this reading is it's affirmation of the spiritual connection, it's affirmation of how deep that connection is, and we're getting that glimmer of hope for the future with that rose. And that's what I would say. I actually think this is the nicest one to look at, and I know that a lot of that goes by the colours I chose, but it's really pretty, it is really pretty. So yeah, I will look at your thoughts on that, but to me that gives a bit of it's a hopeful but a bit of a simple message. It's kind of, a lot of the time readings affirm what we kind of already know. Like we know that it's a twin flame connection, or at least a really strong spiritual connection. Let's see. 4 plates are white and 1 plate is black. No, 2 are white, 2 are blue, and 1 is black. And the only reason for that is I had 8 or 9 of the black and white, and it was like maybe 4 white and 5 black. And when I moved house, these are all I could find. These are the only plates I could find. So the only reason is these are the only ones I could find that are small enough. Of course, I have like larger plates to eat from, but this is the best size for a candle reading. You don't need a huge one. So yeah, 2 white, 2 blue. They're like pale blue, and 1 black. Just all I have left. Let's see. Yeah, rainbow colours as well. Do you like the colours? Great. Okay, so kind of in agreement about that reading, so that's really nice. And no really specific like shape or letter or anything like that. I do feel like the main thing is that spiritual connection and that future hope. So let's look at Kieran. So last but certainly not least, Kieran. And I'm really nice to be able to add you. You know, a shame the Pooja isn't here, but very nice to have Kieran. So let's shake the salt off and see what's going on. Oh, okay. So Kieran, I'm actually liking this because all of the roses have remained. So we have the physical, tangible, the spiritual at the top here, the past and the future there. Okay, just a little bit of salt trickling off, but I'll hold that up close. Try to get a good shot of it. But yeah, so it's interesting because there's barely any wax. It's funny how like Kieran's candle kind of evaporated more. I mean, bear in mind, everybody had 3 candles. They were all from the same box of candles. How much wax is on that compared to that? It's a little bit interesting. But we did notice that this had the biggest, strongest flame. So the biggest, strongest flame, it could be there's more things to release. You know, a lot of the time when we're releasing things, we put them into the fire, we want to burn, to release. So it could be that there was a lot to release. It could be that there was a lot to work on in the spell. Sometimes that's it. But, so what we're seeing, so we have a very clear cord to the past here. So, there could be someone from the past that you still have a connection to. Now, is that positive and you're going to move forward with them, or is that negative and you need to release that cord? It's interesting because the ribbon that didn't burn, the ribbon that remains, and actually there's two of them. If I show you up close, that's actually two pieces of the ribbon together. Can you see them? So there's more than one ribbon that didn't burn. It was one ribbon, of course, but you know what I'm saying. More than one piece of ribbon that didn't burn. And they're both pointing like kind of to the past, as well as this rose. There's a rose in every section, but we have this pointing to the past, this cord. We have this cord pointing to the past. So there's definitely something about the past that's not completely over, done with, released. Maybe it's a positive thing and you're going to connect with this person from the past. We have the tiniest, this is the tiniest cord I've ever seen in a candle reading. Can you see it? It's very, very thin, but it's pointing to the tangible. It is pointing to the tangible and physical. So it's kind of saying there's a possibility in your near future. There's a tangible possibility coming. It's very small. It's very, very small possibility. It could be, a chance meeting. It could be, like a chance meeting where maybe you don't quite meet. It could be something like, they message you and it goes, there's just examples I'm giving, but do you ever realise you had a message from someone years ago in a different inbox in Facebook? They put it in message requests. Could be something like that where this person tries to reach out but you don't see the message for some reason. You're about to cross paths but something happens, you drop something, you're distracted. So it's a very, very fine possibility. So it's kind of almost being in your awareness, maybe even, of course, like I said before, this is a spell. So the spell could be saying, we're working on opening that path, making that path bigger, making that path sooner, So, but the positive thing is that there is something there. Can the spell help to open this path, to bring this path forward, to make this path more prominent? Hopefully, that's what we will hope for. We have this kind of amalgamation, but it's very pretty. Okay, so this is a really nice energy. It's very kind of flowing, it's very nice. It's kind of in between the spiritual and the future. So I would say that there's a rose in every section. So you have something tangible, you have something from the past. There is a spiritual connection somewhere, and you are getting the love in the future. So it is really positive in terms of the roses. But this energy between these two roses is the most interesting to me. If you can see it, I don't know if you can see how actually it looks so nice. It's a really nice kind of pattern. Just that. Oh, sorry, that was my fault. That would have stayed on if I didn't knock it off. But that, can't see it properly. But anyway, it's a really nice piece of wax. It almost looks like how smoke goes, or how waves go. It's really, really nice, and it's between the spiritual and it's between the future. So it is saying, and I knocked that rose off. That rose was supposed to be there, so I do apologise for that. It was my fault, not don't take that as part of the spell, basically. We'll just imagine the rose is still there. But this is between the spiritual and the physical. So there's definitely a spiritual connection with this person. It's not going to be, a very surface level, we're just physically attracted. There is going to be a deep energy to this connection, a deep meaning, a deep focus, liking you for who you are as a person and things like that as well, not just the physical attraction side. And this person wants to come into the future. This person, there's definitely an element of this becoming positive. There's not a lot of wax here. There's not a lot of energy. This wax kind of speaks more to me about what the spell is going to do and what the spell needs to do. The spell recognizes that there's someone from the past. Is it clearing that person, or is it bringing that person forward? The spell recognizes that there's a strong spiritual connection, and the spell recognizes this possible path that's here for you. I would say that it's saying that they're the things it's working on, they're the things it's going to focus on. Yeah, and it's probably like the most I would say about that, given that there's not a lot of wax there. But even though there's not a lot of energy in the future, I wouldn't be disheartened by that, especially because the rose remains in every section. That's really good. And this energy here, I always have to look at the formation of the wax. It's like this one. That's not a nice formation. It definitely looks like there's some kind of block there, you know, in Dupree's one there. But that formation's, it's beautiful. It's almost like waves, you know. It's very, like swells. It's very, very nice. So we're seeing something positive aligning there, something positive coming up. But yeah, I'm really sorry for knocking your rose off, Kieran. But yeah, I think that's quite a good one. But the candle flame being so big the whole time and the barely being any wax is telling me that there's a lot to work on with the spell. That's what I would say. So yeah, that's what I would say about that. Let's see. The rose is open. Oh, sorry, that was different one. Yeah, Pooja says nothing happening in the physical regarding love, but we're really going to try on that, and I'm sure the spell energy will try on that as well. Kieran says, yay! You're very welcome. A bouquet of flowers, yes! So seeing a bouquet of flowers, a wedding bouquet, very, very positive things to see in the wax. Yeah, so it could be, so bear in mind, the core to the past, Kieran, that might just be you need to release someone from the past. It doesn't necessarily mean that this person that you're aligning with is from the past. Could be a brand new person. This card could simply be saying the spell's releasing someone from the past. So don't worry too much. If there isn't someone from the past that you want, I wouldn't worry too much about that. It could just be releasing something from the past. But I'm really happy about you guys seeing a bouquet of flowers. I think that's really lovely. Yeah, so it could mean marriage coming in the future. It could mean that this person that the spell is working on is the person you're going to marry, the person you're going to end up with, you know? So it doesn't necessarily mean that a wedding will be soon, but it could be representative that it will be the right person, the one, you know? Jan, I noticed most plates hardly had anything in the future. Is this due to it being spell-based and this time around, so things need to... Yeah, so Jan, it's a good observation, Jan. With there not being gloss in the future, this is, yeah, so the difference between this and our last candle readings is this does include a spell. So Jan's absolutely correct. The spell is going to work on the manifestation. The spell is going to work on the future. So yeah, it could be very, very much could be why there's not a lot of energy and wax in the future section. So really good point made by Jan there. So yeah, so I really enjoyed this one actually. I think it was, so I would like a little bit of feedback before we do go. Did you enjoy the, did you enjoy this being spell based as well as candle wax? Is that something you would like to, because I'm going to make the candle wax regular because it's popular, everyone wants to be on it, so, and there's many members and subscribers that haven't had a chance yet, so it is going to be regular. Should we keep it with the spell first, or should it just be a reading? If you guys could give me a little bit of feedback on that, I'd appreciate that. Yeah, and then I will jump off because I am supposed to be doing a members crystal ball, so I'm going to have to clear this stuff up and try to get ready in time for the crystal ball, which I think is in half an hour, I believe. Let me check. Is it a heart only? Yeah, oh yeah, it's heart only. So yeah, try and get ready in time for that. Kira says I really like my reading. You're very welcome. And Kira, I'm really glad that you got on. So I do try to honour the people who book on first. So please make sure you guys are checking the community tab, because that is where, if any stream is to book onto, I will post about it. I post about it multiple times on Facebook and the YouTube community tab post. So do try to stay connected on that. But there'll always be opportunities. If someone jumps out or someone can't make it, I will always let someone else jump in. So you're very, very welcome, of course. Please say you don't mind the spell, but I wonder if it confuses the energy trying to focus on multiple time. No, no, because we're only reading it, so it's not like we're doing a spell and then, I don't know, doing like a counter spell or something kind of. We're not doing something that opposes the spell. We're just simply just reading, just kind of interpreting. So there shouldn't really be any confusion with the energy. Confusion with the energy usually comes when you do two things that oppose each other. So I see a lot of the time people come to me, they ask for a spell, it's white magic, they have black magic on them, and it's not really. Sometimes it can be counter to my work, you know. So I do recognize when things are counter and when things kind of confuse things. But this is okay. This is kind of like good to. I would say good. I would say positive to do personally. Jan says, "I'd love if this became regular, like once every." Yeah, so I'm thinking every month, but of course it's only 5 people, so you won't be on the next one, if that makes sense. We'll try to do the next one for people that weren't on this one. Does that make sense? But yeah, of course you can jump on them again. You're always welcome to come to repeat streams, as long as we're giving people a chance. So yeah, Jan, if you came like not next month but the one after or the one after, that would be perfect. Dupree, is black magic that you see the same as the blockages? Yeah, so blockages is really broad term. There can be many things that block a path, but black magic can be one of them. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Jan, totally agree. How would you know if you have black magic on you? Sometimes intuitively you do know, but sometimes you would have to go to someone like me to check, because the main thing I do, like the main part of my work is cleansing. Like I cleanse people's houses, I cleanse people's, auras themselves. I cleanse anything and everything really. I've dealt with many. Oh, the music went off and I didn't even notice. I've dealt with many. I've dealt with 3 of my own entities when I was younger, and I do astral travel and everything like that. So it kind of makes me qualified in a way. I have that ability to be able to remove things like that from people because I've had to deal with it myself and managed it, got through it, So yeah, it's like the main thing I do. Yeah, so if you want a picture of your candle, please message me off stream and I'll reply to you with the picture. So message me on Discord, Facebook or email and I'll reply with the picture, okay? So please, if you ever want a picture of something from stream, message me off stream, just so I get a notification. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys coming. I'm really glad we managed to kind of finish in time. So I'm going to clear up a little bit, have a tiny 5-minute break, and jump onto the crystal ball for the heart chakra members. So if you're a heart chakra member, there'll be a crystal ball in about half an hour. If I'm a little bit late, I apologise, but it won't be too late. So love, light and blessings to each of you, and maybe I'll see you on there. If you have not checked out some of my shorts lately, you might see the ones I've been making. I've been getting into clay sculpting and things like that. So if you're interested in having a wand for your own altar or your own practice or just as a decorative item, do check that out because I will be making many, many of those and selling them on my website. So love, light and blessings. And yes, I really hope to see you soon.